challenge myself. You know, Canelo is a great fighter. He's, you know what I mean, all-time great, one of the best that came out of Mexico. I'm one of the all-time greats, I feel, you know, and why not? Why not put it to the test, you know? History. Hey, what they say, big chances, big rewards. So I'm looking for that big reward after this.
Terence Crawford isn't just confident, he's coming for war. With fire in his eyes, he declares he's prepared to take down Canelo and prove he's the best. But not everyone is convinced. Critics argue that the weight difference between Crawford and Canelo is too big to ignore, fueling doubts about whether this fight is even fair. Boxing promoter Eddie Hearn weighed in on the issue. "I do think the weight will be too much for Terence. I think even in the Jermell Charlo fight, you saw that physically. I think he's, you know, even at 154, he's not a big 154. He's definitely not a big 160. This has become the biggest question hanging over the fight. Can Crawford handle the sheer size and power of Canelo? Many believe that no matter how skilled he is, stepping up in weight against a fighter as naturally strong as Canelo could be a disaster. Others argue that skill and strategy can overcome brute force, and Crawford's precision, speed, and IQ might be enough to neutralize the size disadvantage. With both sides fired up, this fight is turning into a heated debate as much as a war in the ring. As the debate rages on, more experts are siding with Canelo, believing the weight gap is simply too much for Crawford to overcome. Former champion Mikey Garcia is among those who think size will be the deciding factor. He has seen elite fighters struggle when moving up in weight and believes Crawford is stepping into dangerous territory against a naturally bigger, stronger opponent. While Crawford has dominated every division he's entered, this challenge might be different. Many argue that no matter how skilled he is, physics can't be ignored.
I'm putting money on Canelo.
Why?
Bigger guy. Way bigger. I mean, maybe not in height, but in size-wise.
It's a 30-pound difference.
A lot bigger. Crawford was just fighting at welterweight 2 fights ago.
Garcia's words add to the growing doubts surrounding Crawford's chances. Some fans see this as a harsh reality check, while others believe it's just another underdog story waiting to unfold. After all, boxing history is filled with moments where skill defeated size. But against a powerhouse like Canelo, is this one step too far? The discussion isn't just about a fight anymore. It's about whether greatness can defy limits, or if limits will crush greatness. As fight night approaches, more voices are weighing in on the challenge Crawford faces. While his skills are undeniable, some believe that skill alone won't be enough against a fighter like Canelo. The Mexican superstar has not only dominated multiple weight classes, but has also carried his power up as he moved up. This is where the real concern lies. Crawford has never been tested at this level against someone with Canelo's size, strength, and knockout ability. Some experts fear that no matter how sharp Crawford is, he might simply be outgunned.
I've seen Canelo carry his power up to light heavyweight. I haven't seen Crawford do that. You know what I mean? Crawford's a smaller guy. Is he the superior boxer pound for pound, in my opinion? I would say yeah. But going up and fighting a guy who I would say is pound for pound 1A or 1B, whatever, I don't know if that'll be enough.
This argument raises a crucial question. Can elite boxing ability outweigh sheer physicality? Crawford is known for his ring IQ, movement, and adaptability. But against Canelo, he may need more than just strategy. Fighters who moved up in weight have either struggled or crumbled under the pressure of bigger opponents. If Canelo's power follows him into this fight, Crawford might find himself in deep waters. But if Crawford proves the doubters wrong, this could go down as one of the greatest performances in boxing history. The line between a bold challenge and a risky mistake has never been thinner. The concerns about Crawford's size disadvantage aren't just about weight, they're about power. Many believe that even if Crawford can handle Canelo's size, he won't be able to handle his punch. Canelo has built a reputation for breaking down his opponents with crushing body shots and explosive combinations. Fighters who have faced him often talk about the sheer force behind his punches, something that smaller opponents struggle to withstand. Former world champion Shawn Porter is among those who believe this will be a major problem for Crawford, claiming that the power difference combined with the weight gap will be too much to overcome.
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down. You know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam.
For those doubting Crawford, this is the biggest concern. Even the best defense can only hold up for so long against a fighter with relentless power. Canelo doesn't just knock opponents out, he systematically wears them down, making them slower, weaker, and easier to finish as the rounds go on. If Crawford can't avoid Canelo's power shots, he could be in for the toughest fight of his career. On the other hand, Crawford has defied expectations before, using his speed and intelligence to dominate his opponents. If he finds a way to neutralize Canelo's power, he might just pull off one of the greatest upsets in boxing history. The debate isn't just about weight and power, it's about risk. Some believe this fight is too dangerous for Crawford, not just because of the physical disadvantages, but because of what's at stake. Boxing legend Bernard Hopkins has raised serious concerns, questioning whether this fight is even worth it for either man. He believes Crawford is stepping into a situation that goes beyond just boxing, suggesting that taking on Canelo at this weight could be a career-defining risk with life-altering consequences. He stated, "Crawford cares about his life, and what did that fight do for Canelo? Fighting Crawford and Crawford beats Canelo? What did that do for Canelo? I just think that there are so many other fights to make that's realistic, it makes sense, and less life-risking." Hopkins' words cut deep, sparking conversations about whether this matchup is pushing the limits of fair competition. The idea that this fight is life-risking adds a whole new layer to the debate, making some question if Crawford is taking an unnecessary gamble. On the flip side, some believe this is exactly what makes legends, taking on impossible odds and proving the world wrong. Crawford has always embraced challenges, but this one might be the biggest leap of his career. But Hopkins didn't stop there. He doubled down on his stance, pointing out that this fight is happening entirely on Canelo's terms. Unlike other matchups where fighters meet at a fair middle ground, Crawford is the one moving up, not Canelo moving down. Hopkins believes this makes the fight even more lopsided, turning it into a situation where one fighter is forced to take all the risk while the other stays comfortable. He stated, "On top of the risk that we risk stepping in there with guys our weight, and now you want me to do something? Canelo is not coming down to 160. This has been one of the main criticisms of the fight. Many believe Crawford is being forced into a dangerous position while Canelo remains in control. Despite the doubts, the fight is happening, and Crawford isn't backing down. He has built his career on taking risks and proving people wrong, and this is just another chance to show that skill and strategy can overcome size and power." The stage is set for one of the most talked about fights in boxing, and whether people love it or hate it, all eyes will be on Crawford and Canelo when they step into the ring. While critics continue to question the weight difference, Crawford remains unfazed. He isn't interested in the doubts, the concerns, or the warnings from experts. In his mind, this isn't a mismatch, it's an opportunity. He believes his skills, speed, and precision will be enough to not just beat Canelo, but to knock him out. Crawford is putting in the work, training relentlessly, and sharpening every weapon in his arsenal. For him, this isn't about size. It's about proving that the best boxer in the world can take down anyone, no matter the weight class.
What's up, y'all? I'm looking forward to being undisputed in September. Let's get it. It's work time.
Crawford's confidence is sending a strong message to his doubters. While many believe this fight is too dangerous, he sees it as just another challenge to overcome. His entire career has been built on proving people wrong, and this is no different. With a strict training camp focused on power, endurance, and strategy, Crawford is preparing for war. He isn't walking into the ring hoping to survive. He's coming to win. Whether people believe in him or not, one thing is certain. Crawford is ready to fight, and he isn't backing down from Canelo or anyone else. Not everyone is doubting Crawford's chances. Some fighters who have shared the ring with him know firsthand just how dangerous he is. One of them is Edgar Berlanga, who has fought Crawford and sees him as nothing less than a legend. He believes that Crawford has all the tools, speed, skill, and power to knock Canelo out. While many are focused on the weight difference, Berlanga argues that in boxing, anything can happen. Size may be on Canelo's side, but Crawford's ability to break down opponents and finish fights should not be underestimated.
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't you can't count him out.
Berlanga's support adds fuel to the debate. He knows the kind of power Crawford carries and isn't convinced that Canelo's weight alone will decide the fight. Throughout history, smaller fighters have shocked the world by beating bigger opponents, and Crawford has the mindset to do just that. He isn't just a technical fighter, he has the grit and determination to push through adversity. While many continue to question whether he can handle Canelo's strength, Berlanga sees a real chance for an upset. The fight is set, the camps are in full swing, and Crawford is preparing to prove his believers right and his doubters wrong. The conversation around Canelo's physical condition isn't just about size, it's about his age and movement. Teofimo Lopez, a fighter known for his sharp analysis, has raised concerns about how Canelo's legs will hold up in a fight against Crawford. Lopez believes that while Canelo's upper body movements are still strong and sharp, his legs seem to be losing their edge. He points out that without strong legs, a fighter's ability to move, avoid punches, and deliver explosive shots is compromised. This could be a critical factor, especially when facing someone as quick and elusive as Crawford.
Well, as long as Canelo fights somewhere in that weight class, maybe 160, see how that works out, I think that we'll get to see from there. You know, I seen him at 154, although he hasn't fought for that time span since the Spence fight. I noticed that his legs are too old. That's what I saw.
You see it? Like
yeah,
you can see
yeah.
like
His movement from the waist up are good. It's still on point, but his legs.
Lopez's observations add another layer to the already complex debate. The legs are the foundation of a fighter's mobility, and if Canelo's aren't as sharp as they used to be, it could give Crawford an advantage. A quick, mobile Crawford could exploit any weakness in Canelo's footwork, potentially taking control of the pace. Even a slight decline in movement can make all the difference in a fight. Whether or not Canelo's legs are truly an issue, the added uncertainty only makes this fight even more unpredictable. Crawford's ability to capitalize on any weaknesses could be key to his success. Teofimo Lopez, known for his sharp eye and unfiltered opinions, has been vocal about Canelo's vulnerabilities. His take is one that catches attention, focusing on the movement of the Mexican champion. Lopez believes that while Canelo still shows solid technique and power in his upper body, his legs have started to show signs of aging. For Lopez, this could be a serious problem, especially when facing someone as fast and agile as Crawford. Legs are the foundation of a boxer's ability to avoid punches, control the pace, and execute movement. If Canelo's legs aren't what they used to be, it might give Crawford the opening he needs. As long as Canelo fights somewhere in that weight class, maybe 160, we'll see how that works out. I've seen him at 154, although he hasn't fought there since the Spence fight. I noticed his legs are too old. That's what I saw. You see it? His upper body is good, still on point. But his legs, if you don't have legs in this sport, Lopez's statement goes beyond just analyzing Canelo's legs. It's a warning. He's highlighting a crucial aspect of boxing that many may overlook: footwork and movement. In a sport where every second counts, having the right footwork can be the difference between winning and losing. If Canelo can't move like he once did, it will be easier for Crawford to control the distance, stay out of range, and land precise punches. Even if Canelo's power is still there, if his legs aren't, he could struggle to land that power effectively. This adds another layer of uncertainty to the fight, leaving fans wondering if Crawford might capitalize on this potential weakness. In the midst of all the weight concerns and doubts surrounding the fight, there's a piece of advice that stands out. Legendary trainer Stitch Duran recalled a conversation with the late Roger Mayweather, a respected figure in boxing. Roger spoke about how, in his day, fighters didn't worry as much about weight divisions. They focused on skill. It was never about the size difference. It was about the caliber of the fighter's skill and ability to adapt. Duran took this wisdom to heart and believes that skill will ultimately determine the outcome of this fight, not the weight difference. He's confident that Crawford's abilities could be enough to defeat someone like Canelo, regardless of the size disparity.
Roger Mayweather, when I worked with him, the late Roger Mayweather, I was talking to him and he said, nowadays, MFers, they have all these different divisions. We used to fight guys of different weights. He goes, it's not the difference in the weights. He goes, it's the caliber of skill level that you have. And I always thought about that, So can he beat Canelo? Of course. Can Canelo beat him? Yes.
Duran's perspective adds an interesting layer to the conversation. It challenges the traditional view that weight alone can determine the winner. In his eyes, it's all about who has the better skills and who can execute their game plan effectively. If Crawford can outbox Canelo, then the weight difference will become irrelevant. Duran Duran's faith in Crawford's skill set gives hope to those who believe that talent, rather than size, should be the deciding factor. The fight, according to Duran, isn't just about power or weight. It's about proving who is the better fighter. Stitch Duran's perspective isn't the only one that sees skill as the key factor in this matchup. He continues to express his confidence in Crawford's ability to adapt and rise to the occasion, even when facing a formidable opponent like Canelo. The idea that size and weight don't necessarily define a fighter's fate is a refreshing take, especially in a world where the focus often falls on physical advantages. Duran points out that while Canelo's power and experience are undeniable, Crawford's skill set is top tier, making him a real threat despite the weight difference. With the right strategy and focus, Duran believes Crawford has what it takes to come out on top.
I think the chances, I don't bet, but if I was going to bet one way or the other, I'd go the distance fight. You know, I think Terence Crawford's smart enough to move for 12 rounds. You know, you're talking about getting hit solid. He has to get hit solid by Canelo. So, yeah, that'd be my prediction on that.
Definitely was.
So don't go bet money on me now. I'm not good at this stuff.
This kind of analysis forces us to look beyond just physical attributes and consider the mental and technical aspects of boxing. It's about who can execute their game plan under pressure, and Crawford has shown he can do that in the past. Whether it's his quick footwork, his counterpunching ability, or his ability to outthink his opponents, Duran's confidence in his skills is clear. While Canelo might have the size advantage, the fight will ultimately come down to which fighter can impose their will in the ring. It's a clash of styles, and in Duran's eyes, Crawford's style is one that could very well triumph over Canelo's power. Roy Jones Jr., one of the greatest fighters to ever step into the ring, has his own take on how this fight will unfold. According to Jones, the real deciding factor isn't the weight, it's how Canelo approaches the fight. He believes that if Canelo sticks to his usual aggressive style and dominates the ring, he will likely win. However, if Canelo strays from his usual tactics and lets Crawford control the pace, then the fight could swing in Crawford's favor. This gives Crawford an interesting opportunity to take charge if Canelo allows him that space to operate.
Well, the weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight. Control the center of the ring. If Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win.
Jones makes it clear, Crawford's best chance is to take control of the center of the ring. If he can do that, then he'll be in the driver's seat, forcing Canelo to play his game. This is where Crawford's skill comes into play, his ability to control the distance, make adjustments, and outthink his opponent. Canelo's power is undeniable, but if Crawford is allowed to move freely and control the fight, he has the tools to pull off an upset. It all comes down to which fighter can impose their will early and avoid falling into the other's rhythm. Jones's analysis highlights how critical strategy and tactics will be in determining the winner of this bout. Amidst all the analysis and predictions, one thing remains clear. Crawford's confidence is unshakable. He's fully aware of the challenges ahead, but he believes in his abilities without question. His mindset is that of a true champion, focused, determined, and ready for whatever comes his way. Crawford isn't intimidated by the size difference or the critics. He's confident that his skill, preparation, and heart will carry him through. For him, there's no doubt in his mind that victory is within his grasp. He stated, "I'm going to win. I'm going to win. Man, I do everything, man. It ain't nothing that I can't do." This unwavering belief is exactly what makes Crawford such a dangerous fighter. While others analyze and question the factors that could affect the fight, Crawford only sees one thing: winning. He's not just hoping for a victory, he's convinced it's inevitable. This mentality will serve him well in the ring, where confidence and self-belief can often be just as important as physical ability. As the fight draws closer, it's clear that Crawford's determination to prove himself is just as fierce as the challenge that lies ahead. As the fight between Canelo and Crawford draws near, the debate around weight, skills, and strategy continues to heat up. With strong opinions from legends like Teofimo Lopez, Roy Jones Jr., and others, it's clear that no one truly knows how this one will unfold. Will Canelo's power and experience be enough to overcome the skill and precision of Crawford? Or will Crawford prove that size doesn't always matter in the world of boxing? The weight difference might be a factor, but as many experts have pointed out, it's the fighter's skills and mindset that will ultimately decide the outcome. So, what do you think? Does the weight difference matter, or is it all about who controls the fight? Who do you think will come out on top, Canelo or Crawford? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tune in for more videos like this.